I was born March 20th, 1928 in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, at my grandparents' house. My mother's name was Nancy McFeely Rogers, and my dad's name was James Hillis Rogers. And I was my mother was the only child left in her family, and so I was the only grandchild. So I was named for my grandfather, whose name was Fred McFeely. And we have a speedy delivery person on our neighborhood called Mr McFeely. And he's pretty much named after my grandfather. He's the kind of person who would say to you, "You've made this day a special day. You know, I'm glad you're here." And it's wonderful for me to be able to pass that kind of thing on to others. My father started out working in a brick company that my grandfather McFeely had started. It was called the McFeely Brick Company. And they made bricks for the lining of steel furnaces, silica brick. And as time went on, I mean, Dad started out as a laborer, and as time went on, he finally bought the company. He was a wonderful man, just beloved by the town. And my mother was too. I think she had something like 25,000 volunteer hours at the hospital. She loved being a nurse's aide, and during the Second World War, she was in charge of making surgical dressings for the troops. And I remember as a little boy going down and seeing the people folding these gauze squares, you know, and then they would ship them off. She also knit sweaters for the troops. In fact, my mother, as long as I could remember, made at least one sweater every month. And at Christmas time, she had about 12 very close people to her. I mean, there was Dad and my sister and I, of course, and my grandmother. And she would give us each a hand-knit sweater every Christmas. And so until she died, those zipper sweaters that I wear on the neighborhood were all made by my mother. We would open up the boxes at Christmas and we'd all try on the sweaters, and then she would say, "Okay, now what kind do you want next year? Now I know what kind you want, Freddie. You want the one with the zipper up the front." So that, I think it's wonderful that you do these archival tapes, because there are ties that many people don't know just watching certain programs. And it makes the experience so much deeper to know from whence Mr. McFeely came or where the sweaters came from.